Welcome back to Live from reInvent. If you're lucky, you'll get to meet one of the grant recipients of the All Builders Welcome program during the week. They come from a diversity of backgrounds in 20 countries around the world. They're all here to learn more about the latest technologies in cloud, as well as build connections here at the show. Bringing more people into the tech world is a priority for AWS and our partner, Accenture, and it should be for all of us. We're joined by Accenture's Brittany Crooks and Darian Johnson to learn more about what we can all do to make tech a more diverse, equitable, and inclusive industry. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you for having us.
So Brittany, tell us a little bit about what you do and what your area of focus is at Accenture.
Yeah, absolutely. So I am sitting in our North America Cloud First practice that we started last year. So big proponent of AWS. And within that, and then innovation executive, so focused on all things Horizon 3 work and how do we enable that for our clients.
Awesome. And Darian, how about you?
Sure. I'm part of our Accenture AWS Business Group. That's the organization that we formed with AWS 5 or 6 years ago. I wake up every day thinking about how I can have my customers adopt AWS Cloud at scale, whether it's evangelism or sales or delivery. That's what I do.
We are all motivated to bring more people from all backgrounds into the tech world. So from your vantage point, where are we as a broad tech community in that effort, and why is it so hard?
Yeah, no, this is a great question that we all should be thinking about. We know that we've got to bring different people to the table as we're continuing to ideate and move into the future, right? We need diverse perspectives, diverse pain points so that we can come up with new products and understand new ways that people are going to engage with technology, right? It's ever evolving. And part of the challenge, right, I think is people are starting with the communities that they know and slowly starting to connect and reach out and learning how to connect with different types of people in different ways, right? And so I think that's one challenge, right? When we think about recruiting practices or how you're building teams, you start with your friend circles. And if your friend circles aren't diverse, then that's what you'll bring to the table. And so then we're watching corporations now try to think about how do we get more purposeful in reaching out to communities that we wouldn't naturally touch, right? Whether it's a skill set, whether it's an economic background, whether it's an ethnic background, how do we touch these communities that maybe we don't engage as often, but if we did, we could expand our market potential, right? And it is not, I mean, you're asking cultures to come together. It's not an easy thing, but I think with technology, right, you can use that as the level to say, we're all going to come together because we understand what it means to code this product. We're all going to come together because we understand what it means to create this experience. And so it will be a challenge, absolutely, but I think technology is going to be a big piece of the path in how we get there.
Absolutely. And Brittany, at Accenture, where are you directing your efforts on ID&E, and what's working and what can we all learn from that?
Absolutely. So within Accenture, definitely spend time with our employee resource groups and things like that. But one of the big programs that I'm excited to share about is Project Elevate. So it's something we launched last year. And so after the murder of George Floyd, we watched people being in pain. And we said, okay, we have to do something about it. Our people are hurting, our community is confused, and we've got to be more purposeful and intentional in what we're going to do here. And so one of the things that happened is our global CTO, Paul Doherty, stood up and said, I want to be a champion for change, let's go make it happen. And so he pulled me and some other folks together and said, how do we design a program with intentionality around our Black and African American community? And I call that out because one, having that executive support, and two, having that intentional focus and saying this is not for everyone, we're going to focus on the house on the street that's burning right now, made such a difference in the amount of impact that we were able to have in just 12 months, right? And then I think the third thing that we saw with this program, of course, was setting the metrics, right? We always say that you don't get what you expect, you get what you inspect. And so if you don't have some really clear metrics around what progress looks like, you're not going to get there. And so from that perspective, we were holistic in saying, what does it look like in terms of our communities that we engage with and how we're recruiting, what that process looks like, how we're going to create opportunities for folks, the culture that we're creating, and how we're supporting opportunities for advancement.
I love that. Thank you for sharing that. So Darian, you have been at Accenture for 21 years. What have you seen change? 20? Sorry.
21 in some months.
20, okay, all right. So what have you seen change or not change? And it doesn't just have to, be Accenture, but the tech world at large.
Yeah, it's interesting. When I joined Accenture out of college, we looked for people with specific degrees at specific colleges. So if you didn't go to the right college or you didn't have the right degree, you were not going to get hired. You were not going to be interviewed even. That's changed a lot. Right? I think what we've seen in the world is that technology is independent of a school or independent of a line of study. Like my wife is an economics major and she works in technology, right? Anybody can do technology work. Like it's democratized to the point that anyone with any background can. So I think that we're doing a better job now of hiring at different places, pulling in people with different backgrounds, different experiences, whether it's out of college or experienced hires. So I think that's changed a lot. And I think that's true not just for Accenture, but probably worldwide. I'd say the other thing is that COVID has taught us that we need technology to do work and stay connected, but that also enables us to pull from wherever. Like we can truly be a global company and bring the best talent from wherever in the world, as long as that person has an internet connection. If they're a smart person who wants to learn technology and do technical work, and they've got a solid Wi-Fi connection, they can work for us. And I think that's true for Accenture, and my guess is for other companies as well.
Right. Awesome, thank you. So this one's for both of you. All right. At AWS, we view the cloud as a way to democratize technology. In your views, does technology in turn democratize opportunity? And if so, how?
You want to kick off?
Yeah, you kick off.
Sure. So, part of what Darian was just getting at is, yes, with these technology skills, so one, I guess, technology skills are in demand or market relevant right now. And so if you're acquiring those skills, it is going to create opportunity and open doors and just give you some visibility. And I think that's absolutely true. I also think, at least in Silicon Valley, I'm seeing technology from time to time used as a barrier for folks getting into the prestigious product management roles, right? Because I think, and this is why we're seeing the separation of the TPM and the product marketing managers, as people start to acknowledge, hey, some of it is about talking the language and developing respect and credibility with the developers and the coders, not necessarily using the core skills, and saying that there are other ways to get there. But I think what we've seen in Silicon Valley quite a bit is, oh, you don't have that degree, maybe let's use that as a barrier to a role, right? And so I like that is changing, but it's still there.
Yeah, all important. Thank you for showing us both sides of that coin. I think that's a good call out.
Did you have something
Darian,
you want to add?
Yeah, I think Brittany covered everything. I would just say this, I believe that technology is an enabler. I believe that if you have the will to learn, that you can find an opportunity to do technology work every place. Now that doesn't mean that there aren't going to be barriers. There's still systematic racism, there's still systematic inequality, and having a technology degree or technology background is not going to change that, or working in technology, but I think it lets you in the door. Like you just got to get in the door, and I think that's what's changing, and I think that companies like AWS, spreading their training for others to use and follow and learn, enables you to get in the door. And once you're in the door, you've got a fighting chance to build a career, build a name for yourself, contribute to yourself, contribute to society, contribute to your company. So I believe that we will see more and more of that, not just with AWS, but other companies as well, other technology companies, other non-technology companies. So I'm excited to see what happens over the next 3 or 4 years.
Awesome. I can hear the passion in your voice. I really love that. Thank you for sharing that. So Darian, you talk about pursuing a career in tech, right? But it has to be the right tech.
Yes.
So what do you mean by that?
My belief, and this is just Darian's belief, others may have a different point of view, but I believe every year, or every couple of years, we start to move, quote unquote, up the stack. Things become commoditized and things become cutting edge. You don't have to necessarily be cutting edge, but you can't be a commodity developer. So COBOL on the mainframe, right? That's going away. No one should be studying COBOL right now, right? No one should be studying how to program on the mainframe. AWS just released the mainframe modernization service, right? That's going away. Java's probably the next thing. You need to understand Java, but understanding Java is not special. Understanding Java on AWS, an example of how you might build it into containers, or in Lambda, that's how you differentiate. That's the right tech. Learn technology that's going to grow and enable you to be successful. Not something that's dying, not a dying skill. That's DBJ's point of view. Others may have a different opinion.
Makes sense. All right. So, Darian, tell us about the All Builders Welcome Program, what you've learned from it, the people who are a part of it, and what the partnership between Accenture and AWS brings to the mission of bringing more people from more backgrounds into tech.
So, All Builders, we as Accenture are really excited to work with AWS and partner in this space. We love the fact that AWS is taking a stand and taking the lead and saying, we believe that our technology, we believe that anyone can learn cloud and everyone should learn cloud, and we're going to remove the barrier for entry, right? Courses are free, training's free, free credits, like free everything, right? Free is good. Free is good.
We like free.
Free is good. Like no one hates free. No one dislikes free. Anyway, so what we're able to do is then have our people take that training, right? We can have brand new college hires who want to do more in cloud but may not be technically savvy, take the training that you offer, and they can learn about cloud, and they can they can join our projects, and they can do more cloud work. Whether that's helping with a company, helping internally with Accenture, or helping society. Like we have multiple ways that our people can use the cloud to grow their skills. That is, it's just a game changer if we get it right. And I think we're getting it right, and so I'm really excited about what AWS is doing in this space, and I'm really excited that Accenture is trying to partner with AWS to use what you're offering to grow our own people and grow the community.
Great, we love to hear it. All right, thank you both so much. Unfortunately, we're out of time, but we clearly have got work to do in the tech industry. But I'm glad to see all the efforts that are underway and definitely a path forward. Thank you both.
Thank you.